Section 24, non-applicable of the provision law of the drug trafficker and pusher. Any person convicted for drug traffic or pusher under this act, regardless of the penalty imposed by the court, cannot avail of the privilege granted by the presidential degree no 968. Yung presidential degree no 968 po kasi is siya yung yung rehabilitation ganoon na pinopromote ng batas o ng ating constitution na mas mapabilis yung trial or mas mapagaan yung burden or yung imprisonment ng ating mga preso, pero hindi po sila applicable sa mga pusher or drug trafficker. Hindi po sila applicable dyan. Yung mga applicable lang dyan is yung mga, syempre sasabi na kami sa section 23 na below 6 years yung maximum penalty nila. Yun na po.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. So, this the report of Group 2, known as the RA 9165 or known as Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002, which is Section 23 to 44. So, we are going to discuss the Section 25, known as the qualifying aggravating circumstances in the commission of a crime by an offender under the influence of dangerous drug. Meaning, notwithstanding the provision of any law to contrary, a positive finding for the use of dangerous drug shall be qualifying aggravating circumstance in the commission of a crime by offender in the application of penalty provided in the revised penal code shall be applicable. So, ang ibig sabihin lang naman nito, ma'am, kapag commit daw ng crime yung isang tao while ay napatunayan na gumamit siya ng pinagbabawal na gamot o dangerous drugs, magiging qualifying aggravating circumstance daw yung magiging kaso ng isang tao kapag napatunayan na positive siya sa dangerous drug. Example, ma'am, is without drugs. Kapag daw napatunayan na hindi siya gumamit ng pinagbabawal na droga while committing a crime like homicide, magiging normal punishment lang ang ibibigay ng RPC. And next example is use the dangerous drug. Ang ibig sabihin lang naman dito, pag napatunayan daw na gumamit ng pinagbabawal na drug or dangerous drug, ma'am, is while committing a crime like homicide, magiging mataas yung kaso niya. Example, ma'am, is yung kaso niya reclusion temporal lang ang pinataw sa kanya. Pero nung pagkatapos ng findings, nalaman nilang gumamit siya ng pinagbabawal na drug or dangerous drug, ang magiging kaso niyan is reclusion temporals, ay magiging reclusion perpetua. So, ganun kabigat ang Section 25, or ibig sabihin ni qualifying aggravating circumstance if napatunayan gumamit ka ng pinagbabawal na gamot or dangerous drug. Yun lang po, ma'am. Thank you.
Section 26 of Republic Act 9165, also known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, addresses the crime of attempt or conspiracy to commit certain serious unlawful act under the Act. It mandates that attempting or conspiring to commit 5 specific unlawful acts will be penalized with the same penalties as if the offenses were actually completed. This act includes the importation, sale, trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, and transportation of dangerous drugs and or control, precursor, and essential chemicals, as well as the maintenance of then-dive resort where dangerous drugs are used. Additionally, the manufacture of dangerous drug and control precursor and essential chemicals, and the cultivation of plants that are sources of dangerous drugs also fall under this provision when attempted or conspired. The law aims to severe penalize even the initial step taken towards these serious drug-related crimes. Ang pinepenalize ng Section 26 ay yung mga like nagbebenta ng marijuana, nagko-construct or nagko-cultivate ng shabu or any drug related this section. So punta naman tayo sa Section 27. Section 27 outlined the criminal liability of public officers or employee who misappropriate, misapply, or fail account for confiscated item. The act violator face penalty including the life imprisonment to death and substantial fine. Elective officials who benefit from drug trafficking proceed also face removal from office and permanent disqualification from government position. This section highlights the strict accountability of government personnel regarding drug-related asset and evidence. Ayun naman sa Section 27 is pinapenalize or pinapunish lang nito ay yung mga public official or employee like PDEA. Ang karamihan ay PDEA yung nasasangkot dito kasi sila yung ng mga drugs or nanghuhuli. Kaya sila yung related dito.
Section 28. Criminal liability of government officials and employees. The maximum penalty of the unlawful act provided for this act shall be imposed in addition to absolute perpetual disqualification from any public office if those found guilty of such unlawful acts are government officials and employees. Ibig sabihin dito sa Section 28, kung ang gumawa ng krimen ay mga opisyal ng gobyerno or empleyado, mas mabigat ang parusa nila kumpara sa mga ordinaryong tao. Bukod pa dito is hindi na rin sila pwedeng makakapagtrabaho sa gobyerno. Next is Section 29. Criminal liability for planting of evidence. Any person who found guilty of planting any dangerous drug and or controlled precursor and essential chemical, regardless of quantity and purity, shall suffer the penalty of death. And dito naman sa Section 29 is kung sino man yung matanim ng ebidensya, lalo na kung droga, is ang penalty is death or life imprisonment.
Section 30. Criminal liability of officer of partnership, corporation, association, or other juridical entities. In case any violation of this act is committed by partnership, corporation, association, or any juridical entity, the partner, president, director, manager, trustee, estate administrator, or officer who consent to or knowingly tolerate such violation shall be held criminally liable as a co-principal. The penalty provided for the offense under this act shall be imposed upon the partner, president, director, manager, trustee, estate administrator, or officer who knowingly authorize, tolerates, or consent to the use of vehicle, vessel, aircraft, equipment, or other facility as an instrument in the importation, sale, trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, transportation, or manufacture of dangerous drugs or chemical diversion, if such vehicle, vessel, aircraft, equipment, or other instrument is owned by or under the control or supervision of the partnership, corporation, association, or juridical entity to which they are affiliated. Ang sinasabi naman dito Kapag ang isang kumpanya or corporation ay lumabag sa batas tungkol sa droga, hindi lang ang kumpanya ang mananagot, pati po yung mga opisyal nila tulad ng manager, president o director ay mananagot din kung alam nila o pinayagan nila ang paggamit ng mga gamit ng kumpanya sa illegal na droga. Halimbawa, kung may tracking company na ginamit sa pag-transport ng droga at alam ng manager pero hinayaan lang niya, mananagot din siya tulad ng mismong gumawa ng krimen. Section 31. Additional penalty of offender is an alien. In addition to the penalties prescribed in the unlawful act committed, an alien who violates such provision of this act shall, after service of sentence, be deported immediately without further proceedings until the penalty is death, unless the penalty is death. Kapag ang gumawa ng krimen ay isang dayuhan o foreigner, pagkatapos niyang makulong o matapos ang kanyang sintensya, ipapadeport o paalisin siya agad ng bansa, maliban na lang kung death penalty ang parusa niya. Halimbawa, isang foreigner ang nahuli sa pagbebenta ng illegal na droga. Pagkatapos niyang makulong, paalisin siya sa bansa, pero kung ang parusa niya ay kamatayan, hindi na siya i-deport.
Section 32. Liability to a person violating the regulation issued by the board. The penalty of imprisonment ranging from 6 months and 1 day to 4 years, and a fine ranging from 10,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos shall be imposed upon any person found violating regulation duly issued by the board pursuant on this act, in addition to administrative sanctions imposed by the board. So, dito yung part naman na violation na pag binayolate natin or binayolate yung linabas na regulation ng board. Next is the section 33, which is immunity from prosecution and punishment, notwithstanding the provision of section 17, Rule 119 of the revised rules of criminal procedures and the provisions of Republic Act Number 6981 or the Witness Protection, Security and Benefits Act of 1991. Any person who has violated Section 7, 11, 12, 14, 15, and 19, Article 2 of this Act, who will voluntarily gives information about the violation of Section 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 13, and 16, Article 2 of this Act, as well as any violation of the offenses mentioned if committed by drug syndicates or any information leading to whereabouts, identify the arrest of all any of the member thereof, who will willingly testify against such as person as described above, shall be exempted from the prosecution of punishment for the offenses, with reference to which in his or her information of testimony were given, and may plead or prove the giving such as information, testimony in a bar of such prosecution, provided that following conditions concur. So, dito naman is immunity. From the word immunity, hindi na siya kailangang dumaan dito or hindi na siya kasali dito, yung mga nabanggit dito kanina, basta hindi lang nila mababiolate yung mga rules and other section na nandito. So, next, sa section, ito yung mga content. Number 1, information and testimonies are necessary for the conviction of the persons described above, such as information and testimony are not yet possession of state, such as information testimony can be corroborated on the material points. Next, number 4, the information of the witness has not been previously convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, except when there is no other direct evidence available of the states other than the information of the testimony of said of information of witness. And lastly, the informant or witness shall be strictly and faithfully comply with delay any condition in undertaking reduced into writing lawfully imposed by the states as further consideration and grant immunity from the prosecution and punishment. So, ito yung mga kailangan natin. And next one, Section 34. In the Section 34, there are termination of immunity of Republic Act 9165. So, ito yung pagta-terminate. So, tinatanggal yung immunity. Then, grounds for termination, immunity granted to informant or witness is revoked if information or testimony is false, malicious, and intended to harass and prejudice others. So, ito yung mga tinatanggal, rene-revoke ang kanilang testimonies. Yan. So, next is the other informant witness refused to fail testify without just cause. No? So, ito yung mga witness or informant na nagtitestify na wala naman, kumbaga, hindi makatotohanan, ganon, at hindi nakaka-apekto dun sa kaso. Then next, condition of immunity are violated. So, may mga condition din, kanina tayong nabasa doon. Then, next is the consequence. Siyempre, may mga kaibat yan. Subject to prosecution, contempt, or criminal liability. All previous and granted rights or benefits are terminated. Next is cannot claim protection under the Article 8 of the Act. So, ito yung mga matatanggal sa kanya at magiging kaparusahan sa mga maling informasyon, maling testimony na ibibigay sa korte. So, kailangan sa mga to ay dapat pag-isipan at dapat totoo lamang ang sasabihin.
Section 35. Accessory penalties. Person convicted under this Act shall be disqualified to exercise his or her civil rights such as, but not limited to, right of parental authority or guardianship, either as to the person or property of any ward, the rights to dispose of such property by any act, or any conveyance, interviews, and political rights, such as, but not limited to, the right to vote and be voted for. Such rights shall also be suspended during pendency of an appeal from such conviction. Ano nga ba yung mga rights na mawawala dito? Mawawalan siya ng parental authority or guardianship. Example is a convicted person may lose the right to care for their children or manage their children's property. Right to dispose of property. They may lose to transfer, sell, or donate their property. Hindi na nila mabebenta yung property. Political rights. Hindi sila pwedeng bumoto or hindi sila pwedeng tumakbo. And next. Section 36. Authorized drug testing. Who can conduct drug tests? Siyempre yung mga government or DOH accredited laboratories. This center must use testing methods. Kailangan nila ng dalawang testing methods. Ito yung screening test and confirmatory test. Screening test detects if drugs are present and what type, kung ano nga ba yung drugs na ginamit nila. And confirmatory test confirms if the first test was positive to avoid mistakes. Ang valid lang naman na certificate is 1 year and can be used for other purpose. Who must undergo drug testing? Driver's license applicants must present a drug certificate, syempre. Firearms license applicants, mandatory test sa kanila dahil professional sila. May hawak kasi silang baril. And secondary and tertiary students, random drug testing lang sa kanila. Pati na rin yung public and private employees. Military, police, and law enforcement, annual mandatory tests. And person charged with serious crime, mandatory test talaga sa kanila pag 6 years pataas na. Candidates for public office, kailangan nilang mag-undergo din yung mga yan. And ito naman ang consequences na ng nag-positive. RA 9165 under Section 15.
Section 37. Issuance of false or fraudulent drug test result. Any person authorized, licensed, or accredited under this Act and its implementing rules to conduct drug examination or tests, who issues false or fraudulent drug test results knowingly, willfully, or through gross negligence shall suffer the penalty of imprisonment ranging from 6 years and 1 day to 12 years, and a fine ranging from 100,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos. An additional penalty shall be imposed through the revocation of the license to practice his/her profession in case of a practitioner, and the closure of the drug testing center. Tinutukoy ng section na ito ang mga parusa sa pagpapalabas ng mga fake results ng drug test. Sinadya man o dahil sobrang kapabayaan, ang penalties dito ay makukulong ka ng 6 to 12 years at magbabayad ng multa up to 100k to 500k thousand pesos. Pwede pang mawala ang license mo at isara ang iyong testing center. Section 38. Laboratory examination or test on apprehended arrested offenders. Subject to Section 15 of this Act. Any person apprehended or arresting for violating the provision of this Act shall be subjected to screening laboratory examination or test within 24 hours. If the apprehending or arresting officer has reasonable ground to believe that the person apprehended or arrested, on account of physical signs or symptoms or other visible or outward manifestation, is under the influence of dangerous drugs. If found to be positive, the results of the screening laboratory examination or test shall be challenged within 15 days. After receipt of the results of confirmatory test conducted in an accredited analytical laboratory equipment with a gas chromatograph, mass spectrometry equipment, or some such modern and accepted method. If confirmed, the same shall be prima facie evidence that such person has used dangerous drugs, which is without prejudice for the prosecution for the violation of the provision of this Act, provided that a positive screening laboratory test must be confirmed for it to be valid in court of law. Section 38 covers the procedures for drug testing individual arrested for drug-related offenses. Testing must be done within 24 hours if the arrested person is suspected of drug use. If the result is positive, the individual can question it within 15 days, and a confirmatory test is required.
Section 39, Accreditation of Drug Testing Centers and Physician. So, ang Section 39, Accreditation of Drug Testing Centers and Physician, dito is ang DOH is tungkulin na magbigay sila ng license and accredit drug testing centers at mga doktor. Layunin or purpose nito is para matiyak ang katapatan at maayos na operasyon. At itatatag din ng DOH ang mga drug testing centers sa mga public hospital na dapat kompleto sila ng equipment para maisagawa ng tama ang mga pagsusuri. Section 40, Records required for transaction on dangerous drug and precursors and essential chemicals. So, letter A nakalagay dyan is para sa mga pharmacies, kailangang i-maintain daw nila yung kompletong record ng lahat ng benta at pag-deliver ng dangerous drugs. Kabilang ang detalye gaya nitong 8 na nakalagay dyan, Number 1, license number and address of the pharmacist. Number 2, name, address, and license of the manufacturer, importer, or wholesaler from whom the dangerous drug have been purchased. Number 3, quantity and name of the dangerous drugs purchased and acquired. Number 4, date of acquisition or purchase. Number 5, name, address, and community tax certificate. Number of the buyer. Number 6, serial number of the prescription and the name of the physician, dentist, veterinarian, or practitioner issuing the same. Number 7, quantity and name of the dangerous drugs sold or delivered. And number 8, date of sale or delivery. Dito sa letter B, para sa mga pharmacist, dentist, veterinarian, kailangan daw magbigay sila ng 3 kopya ng reseta. Number 1 is para sa pharmacist, isa para sa pasyente, isa para sa nagbibigay ng reseta, at dapat ang mga reseta ay galing sa opisyal na DOH at hindi pwedeng gamitin ulit ang reseta. Dito sa letter C, para sa mga manufacturer, importer, dealer, at retailer, kailangan daw meron silang record ng lahat ng transaksyon kasama ang pangalan, address, lisensya ng katransaksyon, dami at pangalan ng produktong ibenta o binili at date nito.
We're going to tackle Section 41. Section 41 contains involvement of the family. This section emphasizes that the family unit as the basic unit of the Filipino society is primarily responsible for educating its member about the harmful effects of dangerous drugs and for monitoring family members who might be susceptible to drug abuse. And Section 41 para bang to guide our family, like parents such as mother, father, guardians, like that. Section 42. Section 42 contains student council and campus organizations. Section 42 mandates that all student council and campus organization at the elementary, secondary, and tertiary levels must incorporate programs for drug abuse prevention, deterrence, treatment, referral, and rehabilitation into their activities. Dito naman sa Section 42, para lang bang sa Section 41, pero dito mga supervise sa'yo mga teacher mo, pangalawang magulang ba. That's all. Thank you.
Section 43, School Curricula, Instruction on Drug Abuse Prevention and Control shall be integrated in the elementary, secondary, and tertiary curricula of all public and private schools, whether general, technical, vocational, or agro-industrial, as well as in non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system. Such instruction shall include: Number 1, adverse effects of the abuse and misuse of dangerous drug on the persons, the family, the school, and the community. Number 1, masamang epekto ng pag-abuso sa droga sa tao, pamilya, paaralan, at komunidad. Number 2, preventive measures against drug abuse. Paraan ng pag-iwas sa paggamit ng droga. Number 3, health, socio-cultural, psychological, legal, and economic dimensions and implications of the drug problem. Mga epekto sa kalusugan, lipunan, ekonomiya, at batas kaugnayan ng droga. Number 4, steps to take when interventions on behalf of a drug dependent is needed, as well as the service available for the treatment and rehabilitation of drug dependence. And dito is mga hakbang kapag may taong
nangangailangan ng tulong o rehabilitation. Number 5. Misconceptions about the use of dangerous drugs such as, but not limited to, the importance and safety of dangerous drugs for the medical and therapeutic use, as well as the differentiations between medical patients and drug dependents in order to avoid confusions and accidents, stagnation in the consciousness of the
Section 44. Head supervisors and teachers of schools. For the purpose of enforcing the provision of Article 2 of this Act, all school head supervisors and teachers shall be deemed person in authority and, as such, are hereby empowered to apprehend, arrest, or cause the apprehension or arrest of any person who shall violate of any said provisions pursuant to Section 5, Rule 113 of the Rules of the Court. They shall be deemed persons in authority if they are in the school or within the immediate vicinity, or even beyond such immediate vicinity if they are in attendance at any school or class function in their official capacity as school heads, supervisors, and teachers. Any teachers of a school employee who discover or finds that any person in the school or within its immediate vicinity is liable for the violating any of said provisions, who shall in turn report the matter to the proper authorities. Failure to do so in either case within a reasonable period from the time of discovery of the violation shall, after due hearing, constitute sufficient cause for disciplinary action by the school authorities. So Section 44, Head Supervisor and Teachers of the School. Itinuturing na persons in authority ang school heads, supervisors, and at teachers dahil dito sila may kapangyarihan mag-aresto o magpahuli ng sino mang lumalabag sa batas laban sa droga sa loob o paligid ng paaralan. Mag-report agad sa school head o mas mataas na opisyal kapag may nalaman o nag-discover ang paglabag. Kung hindi sila mag-report sa tamang oras, maaaring silang maharap ng disciplinary actions matapos ang due hearing.